How's it going, everybody? Wayne here. I got another huge lot of 16 complete in box N64 games. And no sir, they're not all sports titles. Let's check them out. Well, first things first, it's been more than a week since I posted my last N64 library, when I've been posting them every few days or so. That's because I was working on a 2018 game room tour. So where's that video, you ask? I put it on my other channel. It's called Gamer Wayne, and I'll leave a link to that at the end. The reason I posted that video on that channel is because it's a lot older, and I wanted to see how that video would perform on that channel, because that channel only had 15 videos and 500 some subscribers, and this one has 40 some videos and 130. So I've been thinking about moving all my videos over there to create a bigger audience. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet or not. But anyways, at the end of this video, check out the description below. There's a link to the video game room tour, and I'm doing a really cool giveaway on that channel. I'm giving away a Charles Martinet signed poster, and if you didn't know, he's the voice of Mario. And also let me know in the comments what you think. Should I try to switch channels to Gamer Wayne, or should I just try to keep So Much Gaming alive and leave that as a separate channel? Now that that's all out of the way, let's check out what cool games I got. First up, we got what I would say is my favorite N64 game of all time, and that's The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time was developed and published by Nintendo and released for the N64 in 1998. Although I grew up playing NES, until I got an N64, the first Zelda game I ever played was Ocarina of Time. This game was excellent from start to finish. The music, puzzles, and action have given me memories that'll last for a lifetime. This is the Zelda game that got me into Zelda games altogether. There is absolutely nothing bad I can say about this game. It's flawless. It's a game I'll come back to over and over again. In fact, I'm playing through it right now on the 3DS. And The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is game number 66 for the collection. Next up, another excellent game, Super Smash Bros. Super Smash Bros. Was developed by HAL Laboratory and published by Nintendo for the N64 in 1999. Here's the Super Smash Bros. Game that started it all. I never owned the game growing up, but I played a lot at my friend's house. Everyone knows what Smash Bros. Is. It's one of those games that can still draw a group of friends together around the TV rather than talk to them through a headset. As you can see, Smash Bros. Had a single player mode, but this game really comes to life with a few friends by your side. And Super Smash Bros. Is game number 67 for the complete in box N64 library. Next up, we have our first Mario Party game, Mario Party 3. Mario Party 3 was developed by Hudson Soft and published for Nintendo for the N64 in 2001. Mario Party 3 was the third and final Mario Party game on the N64. The object of the game is to get more stars than all the other players. It's a typical Mario Party game where you travel across the board in search of stars and buy them with coins earned by landing on spaces and winning mini-games. Like Smash Bros., this game offers a single-player mode, but it's best enjoyed with friends. And Mario Party 3 is game number 68 for the N64 library. Next up is a pretty interesting platforming game, Glover. Glover was developed by Interactive Studios and published by Hasbro Interactive. It released for the N64 in 1998. Glover is a unique platformer where you take control of a glove and a ball. You must go through levels and try to solve puzzles to advance further. The controls and graphics are good, and the puzzles are fun to solve. Some complain the game is difficult to control, but with a little practice, they can be mastered. I'm pretty sure Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg on the GameCube takes a few ideas from this game. This will be a game I come back and do a full playthrough of. And Glover is game number 69 for the N64 library. Next up, we have a scary game, Doom. Doom 64 was developed and published by Midway Games and released for the N64 in 1997. I like the concept of Doom. Running around hallways, blasting enemies with different weapons, and finding cards and switches to advance are really fun. Just like in Duke Nukem or Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, the problem with Doom 64 is how dark it is. Even when you adjust the brightness on your TV, it's overly dark, making the enemies be able to attack you without knowing what direction they're coming from. For me, that's a major turnoff. The game is fun, but annoying more often than not. If I'm going to pop in a first-person shooter on the N64, Doom will most likely not be my first choice. And Doom 64 is game number 70 for the collection. Alright, I'm going to sneak a sports game in on you. It's NFL Quarterback Club 98. NFL Quarterback Club 98 was developed by Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaim Sports. It was released in October of 1997. The first thing I noticed when getting on the field, the graphics look absolutely amazing for an NFL game on the N64. The wowness quickly went away after I started playing the game. Watch how all these players move in unison. Some players just stand there as you run towards them, and others sack you so fast you don't even know where they came from. If they would have worked on the gameplay a little more to match the graphics, this would have been a pretty good NFL game. NFL Quarterback Club 98 was the only officially licensed NFL game for the 97 to 98 football season on the N64. And NFL Quarterback Club 98 is game number 71 for the collection. Next up we have a pretty fun racing title that a lot of people love for the N64, and that game is Wave Race. Wave Race was developed and published by Nintendo. It released for the N64 in 1996. Wave Race is a unique racing game for the N64. Tired of all the car games? Wave Race lets you take the wheels off and control a jet ski. The controls and graphics are excellent. Looking at the game, you'd never guess it was a launch title for the system. There are a lot of fans of Wave Race. Every time a new Nintendo console comes out, you always hear people rooting for a new Wave Race game. If you like racing games on the N64, make sure to pick up a copy of Wave Race. It's fun and cheap. And Wave Race is game number 72 for the N64 library. Next up, a fighter's game, Fighter's Destiny. Fighter's Destiny was developed by Genki and published by Ocean. It released for the N64 in 1998. Fighter's Destiny is a fighting game for the system. The graphics are decent, but the controls are a little bit unresponsive at times. One thing I really liked about the game is the scoring system. You get different stars based on how you take out another player. You get points for knockouts, ringouts, and slams. The first person to fill up the star bar wins. This is a fighting game that I will come back to and dig a little deeper into it. And Fighter's Destiny is game number 73 for the Complete in Box N64 library. Next up, another racing game for the N64, Mickey Speedway. Don't let this game fool you, it's hard. Mickey Speedway was developed by Rare and published by Nintendo. As childish as the game looks, you can't deny how great the graphics and controls are in the game. This is like an ultra-friendly version of Mario Kart. You collect barrels for weapons that you can attack other opponents with. For a game that's designed for a young audience, this game has a very high difficulty level. Even staying on the track and taking corners tight will not help you evade the other characters. But at least they apologize when they pass you up. And Mickey Speedway is game number 74 for the Complete in Box N64 library. Alright, I'm going to do you real dirty here and sneak another sports game in on ya. It's NHL Breakaway 98. NHL Breakaway 98 was developed by Iguana West and published by Acclaim Sports. It hit store shelves for the N64 in 1998. Another sports game with some pretty great graphics, NHL Breakaway 98 is considered by many to be the best hockey game on the system. I haven't played every hockey game on the system yet, so I cannot give a fair opinion on whether that's accurate or not. It's definitely an impressive game, allowing you to choose real hockey teams both nationally and internationally. However, I personally enjoy the fast-paced, high-scoring, catch-the-net-on-fire action of Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey. And NHL Breakaway 98 is game number 75 for the N64 library. Next up, we have the original Tarak game. Is it just me, or when you see this title, do you feel like going, Tarak? I don't know, maybe it's just me, I'm weird. Tarak Dinosaur Hunter was another game developed by Iguana West and published by Acclaim. Tarak Dinosaur Hunter released for the N64 in 1997. Here's the second Tarak game in my collection. The first was Tarak 2 Seeds of Evil. I personally enjoyed this one more out of the two. The controls are the same in both games, using the C buttons to move and the R button to jump. It takes some time getting used to, but once mastered, the game is fun. I like how bright the levels are and not getting stuck in dark spaces. You can see the enemies coming at you and shoot them from a distance. Both of the Tarak games we covered are fun, but I actually found it harder to put the controller down when recording the gameplay for this one. And Tarak is game number 76 for the N64 library. Next up, our first Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Mortal Kombat Trilogy was developed by Avalanche Soft and published by Midway. It released for the N64 in 1996. Mortal Kombat Trilogy was the first of the 3 Mortal Kombat games to release for the N64. The graphics are average and the controls are good in this game. It does feel a lot like playing the older games. This game has received a lot of terrible reviews. However, I don't find the game bad at all. It's not the best Mortal Kombat game on the N64, but it's definitely not the worst either. And Mortal Kombat Trilogy is game number 77 for the N64 library. Next up, another Mortal Kombat game, Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. Mortal Kombat Mythologies was developed and published by Midway, and it released for the N64 in 1997. This is the worst Mortal Kombat game for the N64. The controls make this game terrible. There's no jump button. You press up on the stick to jump. And the controls are really touchy, causing you to jump right to your death. And don't expect to turn on a dime in a fight. You have to hit the B button to turn around. Otherwise you'll just be swinging at the air. And then there's a bunch of trial and error that make the game so frustrating. You'll be walking along minding your own business and then get crushed by a pillar out of nowhere. The only interesting thing about this game is it was the first Mortal Kombat game designed specifically for home consoles. And Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero is game number 78 for the Complete in Box N64 library. You might have seen this one coming. The next game up is Mortal Kombat 4. Mortal Kombat 4 was developed and published by Midway and released for the N64 in 1998. This is the last and best Mortal Kombat game released for the N64. The graphics were upgraded, weapons were added, as well as some new moves. The controls are solid and it's fast paced. The combos can be learned and executed fairly easy with minimal practice. Mortal Kombat 4 is a good fighting game for the N64 and one worth adding to your collection. And Mortal Kombat 4 is game number 79 for the collection. Yeah! Next up we have Xena, the Warrior Princess. Xena, Warrior Princess was developed by Sapphire Corporation and published by Titus. Xena released for the N64 in December of 1999. Here is an interesting fighting game for the N64. The game is mostly a button masher. Anyone can pick up this game and make it pretty far into the game just by mashing the C buttons. The characters act and look weird, especially in the face. The controls are good, but there really isn't any skill involved here. It's not a great game, but it's not terrible either. I do want to go back and try the multiplayer to see if it presents more of a challenge than the computer. And Xena Warrior Princess is game number 80 for the Complete in Box N64 library. The last game in the lot was a duplicate, Kobe Bryant and NBA Courtside. This awesome lot of 16 games cost me $350 shipped. And at $350 shipped, that brings our total up to $3,918. Now these started out at $550, dropped down to $450, and then when there was less than 24 hours left in the auction, they dropped the price down to $350, and that's when I scooped them up. A lot of these are in excellent condition, and a lot are still in the plastic, like Smash Brothers and Zelda, Xena Warrior Princess. So it was a pretty good deal, and a lot of them also have the baggies, all the posters and inserts. So it was a really good deal for $350. What do you say we get these games on the shelf? And I did rearrange a little bit, so it might look a little bit different than normal. Let's do it. Again, please check the link in the description for the game room tour on my other channel. And please let me know in the comments whether I should switch my videos to that channel or keep them all here and keep So Much Gaming alive. I'm kind of leaning towards switching them all to the other channel, just because it's older and I can reach that bigger audience. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. I'll be collecting the entire N64 library, complete in box, right here on this show. Also make sure to leave a thumbs up for a pretty sweet lot. Until next time, I'm Wayne, and thanks for watching.